Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Smoky Dave Presents. This is our second installment of how I built a cold smoker, and you can too. In the first installment, we talked about the large refrigerated box, the box within the box, and how we keep it cool in the summertime and during the hot months, and how we constructed that. In this installment, we're going to talk mainly about the smoke generator, exhaust fans, and the various controls and things like that that actually produce the smoke that we're using. In the third installment, we're going to talk about how do we keep a box that we smoke food in that's outside free of bugs and other pests when we can't use poison, of course. So, and there's no heat, the thing doesn't get hot. It is a cold smoker. So how do we keep it free of varmints? Well, we'll talk about that in the next video. But in this one, we're going to talk about how we built the main things that we use to literally smoke our food with. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, so the design of the Venturi, which is the most important part of the smoke generator, they can be complicated, and I've seen that, especially in some of the commercial ones, such as these expensive units, some costing well over $100. I actually had one that I built prior to this one that was a little bit more complicated, but I've simplified the design here, and it's really... Basically, you got a pipe, you got a hole in the side of the pipe, and then it attaches to the top of that canister. And in this case, this was a water pressure canister. Typically goes on your hot water heater. And so in here, of course, there's the wood that's smoldering. There's only a small amount of air getting in through the cracks at the base. It's kind of going off the camera here, but I'll show you that on the real thing, but not enough air where there's any open flame in here. So what we have to do is we need to cause a draft to pull that smoke up the tube, and the way we do that is, and I'm going to do this in a different color, this is a iron pipe. That's what it's sold as. It's actually rolled steel, but we won't complain about that. And what we have is a dead marker right there. Get out another one here. What we have is a little piece of copper, kind of bent like that. This is like 1/4-inch copper, usually used for like your ice tray or something like that to hook up your fridge. Anyway, this is just a small piece, and it's drilled a hole, kind of bent it so that it points upward like that. And then attached to that with a hose clamp on this end is a piece of what's called neoprene or vinyl tubing. And this goes off to the aquarium pump. So you got an aquarium pump here. And this pump, which of course is much better than using any kind of oil-based pump, this uses a rubber diaphragm, so it's just pulling air in and there's no oil mixed with it, which we don't want, of course, because this is going in on the food. You always got to be thinking about that. So that air comes up, and because of the direction of the pipe, goes up, and that causes a draft that pulls the smoke up the pipe and into the smoke box. So that's the basic... simple design of the smoke generator. Here you can see the smoke generator stand alone. It hasn't been attached to the cold smoker yet. The arrow's pointing at the aquarium pump that's pumping through that long, clear tubing into it, and it's just pumping smoke out, showing that it works. So, how are we going to hook up this thing electrically? Well, there's one part of the smoke generator I forgot to mention, and that's a pretty important part. So let's start there. So you got the smoke generator, basically the canister here with the tube coming out. And of course it's sitting on this hot plate. So the hot plate has power. And so we have that coming out. And this is going to be our plug right here. So 2 lines go into that. Of course, we've got our air conditioner. So we got 2 lines going to the air conditioner. And the air conditioner has, like the hot plate, has controls on its front panel, so we don't need to do anything with that. Now, the other 2 things we have to deal with is we have an exhaust fan in the chimney. So I'm going to just draw this little chimney here. The exhaust fan is actually a compact unit that's usually used for like hydroponic gardens and stuff, with a fan built inside, and it's got basically 4-inch chimney style unit, and that just exhausts the box itself. So we got 2 wires going to that. However, I've got a switch on it, and I'll explain why. We just don't want that on all the time. So again, we got the 2 wires coming in here, and then this one, it's going to get a little messy. But basically, you've got lines to each one of these. And then finally, of course, we got the aquarium pump. And that also has a switch on it. We'll draw that one over here. And hopefully we're getting a little close to the edge here. I'll just draw a little box there. That represents the aquarium pump. And so electrically speaking, that's it. We've got these 2 switches. Let me circle those. And those are the switches that are at the bottom of the box that are showing up right now. And of course, we got the controls here on the air conditioner and the control on the hot plate. So this gives us full control of everything that we need to do with our cold smoker. We can exhaust the box when we need to if it gets too smoky, or we're afraid that maybe it's too creosote. We can turn the aquarium pump off if we're pumping out too much smoke too. So a combination of these 2 things can help us balance the smoke level in the box. And of course, if say the chips are going out, they got too wet or something, we can turn up the hot plate again and get them going, because that hot plate can go to red hot and we'll start it up. Of course, the air conditioner, we only need to use that in the hot summer months or hotter spring months, and in the fall and winter, if it's already 65 or below, don't need the air conditioner at all. And it all plugs into a single unit. I don't want you to get the idea that I'm going to give you all the little nitty-gritty details on building this smoke generator. Of course, mine uses this inexpensive hot plate. I bought a bunch of these at Walmart. Yeah, about $12 a piece. The canister, I had to cut the top off and weld a ring around it so that it could clamp back together with those clamps. And the reason I did that, of course, was I wanted to be able to burn any kind or use any kind of wood chips in there, not some commercially available pellets that only work with a particular smoke generator, and that's why I didn't buy a commercial one. I wanted to be, able to use the mulch that I create with my mulcher, or with any kind of wood that I might purchase if I want to get certain chunks and things that just wouldn't fit in some other kind of generators. I wanted to be able to have a generator that could do it all. And so the only way to do that was to make it myself. And I hope these ideas help you if you want to do something similar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this part 2 of building a cold smoker. I hope I gave you some ideas and different things that you can think about if you were thinking of building your own smoker. And if not, I hope you just enjoyed the video. Either way, if you are enjoying these videos, consider subscribing and perhaps giving us a thumbs up. Really helps with the algorithm and, of course, for the channel. And that way I can tell if you want more of this kind of information. Tune in next time for the 3rd installment, where I will show you how to keep your cold smoker clean and free of pests, of course, without using any kind of poisons or anything that would contaminate your food. So until next time, thanks for watching.